Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing Runebound, the Island of Dread expansion. I'm down here on Lorimore, and I think I'm gonna travel the sea to Tai Highguard. And then I'm going to do these two adventures here, and then I'm going to start with the yellow adventures, I guess. So, this guy has a fatigue token, but I can rest. So I only roll 3 dice now, and then I can remove this fatigue token. And let me see, we got, we can't use the river maybe. Well, that's not really good enough, but we got 2 streets and 1 river. So we make it here. And then we roll for the threat track. Ugh. That's a 15, and that's bad. That's just enough to make the threat track move on. So now I have to roll again for the items if they stay in the market deck or if they go away. Okay, it's hard to believe, but we lost every possible item. Every item that was less than 5. Spirit Spear, Scorpion Sting, Backpack of Holding, Lantern of Revealing, a Lesser Charm, Mia, Cleric of Battle, Honor Sword, the Witch Doctor, and the Breastplate of Forge. So they all go away into the market stack. Okay, and then we simply move to Auris, and we have a market phase here. So we're allowed to draw a card. Varan coin counter. Well, that's interesting. Once per turn, when your hero receives gold as a reward for defeating a challenge, Varan may take 1 fatigue to increase the reward by 1. Well, that's a good card actually, but well, I could buy him. It's hard to say if I really want to do that. He's a pretty bad ally in the end. I don't know. I don't think so. I could afford him. I have enough money, but I think I don't want to do that. I think I'll save my money to get later this Heart Finder here. Okay, and then I have to hire a captain. And I think I will take, I'm not sure. Well, that's a Freeport smuggler. Okay, I think I will do this. I will simply hire him on loan. So that means now I place a gold marker here, and every reward I might get during the voyage is not mine but goes back into the box. But because I want to use the Merfolk Charioteer after the first travel step, I'm gonna go right to Shellyport or Shellport, so it's not that important. I guess there won't be too much reward for me during this travel. Okay, and I have to roll on the thread track, I guess. Yeah, that's a 9, so I'm fine here. And then I can travel, it's the next turn, and I travel here. And I draw one of these blue encounter cards. And that says now, Freeport Smugglers. You can find any luxury on the black market for a price. During the market step, players may discard 1 or more gold. For each gold discarded, the player may either draw another market card and add it to the town's market stack, or may move an item from any other town's market stack to the market stack of the town his hero is in. That's a pretty good card, actually. And okay, in addition we have this marker here, which shows that the adventure counters have to be replenished. And you know, the rules with my adventure counters are a bit different. So in my house rules I simply place now 2 more adventure markers on the board, 2 more green adventure markers, because I didn't use any of the yellow or red adventures. Okay, and I placed them randomly. One is here on the big continent and the other one is up here. And then there is actually another house rule of mine, which I use when I play this Island of Dread expansion. There are these strange cards here, and when I draw cards with this symbol, then I randomly determine if there are some strange tides which might change the landscape. So I roll a 6-sided die. On a 1 to 2, or 1 or 2, nothing changes. 3 or 4, I place one of these things randomly on the board, and on a 5 or 6, I place actually 2 of them. So let's see. Well, that's a 1 or 2, so we have no change here. And then I draw the next of these cards here, and that is now the ghost ship. That's odd. Yeah, okay. And well, that's a little, we'll see. Ghost ships roam the sea lanes, harvesting the souls of drowned sailors. Magic: for each wound that this challenge inflicts, your captain takes 1 fatigue. Receive 1 map counter and 2 experience point as a reward. Remember, we won't get that reward because we didn't pay for the captain. So let's see now. Okay, I think that's not so easy. I think I'm going to attack that's really I got it. I'm not sure. It's not easy. Okay, there is a little risk, but I'm gonna try to attack the ghost ship in the magic phase. I know it's not easy, but I will do this. So during the first phases nothing happens, but actually Gurik, he can try to attack the ship, and there is no risk because there is no damage value. So I need a 12 to do that. And that was just an 11, that was bad luck. And then in the second, it's Captain Fleetle in the melee step. He attacks now, and he needs a 10. And he has that, very good. So he inflicts 1 damage now. And then it's me. And I use this rune, Immolate, and I now have a value of 9, so I need a 9 to hit. If I would hit, then the ship would be destroyed. And that's good enough. Very good, I have a 12, that's great. So we managed to destroy the ghost ship. And now, it's actually the experience step, and that means we can now play this card here, Merfolk Charioteer. Take this card. If you are voyaging, discard this card during your experience step to move to any town. So that's what we do now, and now we move here to Shellport, and I'm gonna try to solve the adventures up here. And the captain goes to the market stack of this town. Okay, I rolled for the threat track and nothing happened, and then I move simply from Shellport. Here you can take a look at that town. I move from Shellport here to this mountain, in the Noden Mountains, and I'll draw another adventure card. So that is one of these. And that's a Rising God Cultist. Not every priest of Kalos has followed the paths of righteousness. You must escape from this challenge. The escape test automatically succeeds at the end of the first combat round. Okay, so we have to kill this guy in 1 round. It's not easy, but I guess it's possible actually. He's not very strong. So he has also only damage values in the magic phase. So during the ranged phase, Jurik can attack without any risk, and he needs an 8. And he has that. He has a 9. So the cultist takes 1 damage. Then we have the melee phase, and I defend myself during the melee phase, and I don't have to roll here. And then we have the magic phase, and I use again my rune. So I have a value of 9 here, and I need a 6 to inflict 2 damage. Oh, yep, it was good enough. It was a 7. So I made it. So my reward is now 2 gold, a map counter. I have to draw a random one, I guess. Oh yeah, that's a set now, that's a good thing. And an experience point, of course. And now I use this card, the Thief's Guild Contact. At the beginning of your turn, you may discard this card to have the guild steal 1 item from any market stack and give it to you. To steal an item, you must spend gold equal to the item's cost minus 2. So I will reduce the item's cost of the hard finder down to 6, and then I have to pay 4 to get this item. So I think that was a real good deal, actually. So now I got this pretty powerful weapon. Your hero receives a +2 bonus to his ranged combat rolls and inflicts +1 wound in ranged combat. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I move here to the next green adventure. On the other hand, I think I'm strong enough to move right here to this yellow adventure. I think that's no big deal. So I simply move here and yeah, draw my first yellow adventure. So that is from the expansion Shadows of Morgoth. And that's the Unspeakable Master. Well, that is... Some of Voraker's minions also serve the ancient things that saner men would leave undisturbed. So that is right from Arkham, this thing. Before combat, test Sneak. If you fail, your allies may not attack, defend, or use special abilities in this combat. Okay, so actually this thing is not too bad, I think. Let's do it. So let's do a sneak test. First, we need a 13. Well, we're pretty good in sneaking. We have here +2 as a skill, and then these gauntlets of shadow. But we would have to activate them. I'm not even sure if I want to do that. So I decided not to activate my gauntlets of shadow. I have a sneak value of 8, so I only need a 5. And that wasn't a problem at all. And then I can do a ranged attack. And I have a ranged value of, let me see, we got 6 here. And +2, so we have a ranged value of 8. So that means I need a 6. And yeah, again, absolutely no problem. So the Unspeakable Master takes now 2 damage because of my Heartfinder. And then Girik, Tree Speaker, he can attack during the melee phase simply because this thing does not any melee damage. So I need a 10 to kill the Master. That's not enough, that's just a 7. So now I do the magic phase, and I use my rune for defense. So I got a +4 bonus. That's a 9, so I need a 5 here. And that's again no problem. And then I'll attack again with the Heartfinder. I don't have to activate this. These timer tokens here, they show you that you have to activate the things. These swords show that it's a constant weapon. Okay, Yeah, so it's again an 8. I need a 6 here, and that's good enough. So I killed that thing easily. Gives me 4 gold and 2 experience points. And then after the adventure phase we can do another market step. We can do that if he takes a fatigue token. And that allows us now to buy this rune. And because a rune is not a weapon, it doesn't apply to the weapon limit. So basically I think we can have as many runes as we want to. And we have to pay 3, because I can again reduce the price. So I pay 3 for this rune. That's the Dragon Breath. And that says, if your hero makes a successful melee or magic attack, activate and take 1 fatigue to inflict +2 wound. Well, for now that's not so good, because I can't activate more than 1 rune. So, but maybe if I take more than one turn, more than one combat turn, it might be a good idea to have both runes, and it wasn't so expensive. Okay, and then I have to roll again for the threat track, and this time it goes on again. Okay, and now my house rule actually says, I forgot, by the way, I forgot to draw a card for the market step here in Shellport. That's a scrounged shield. Okay, so my house rule actually says that when I first battled these yellow adventures, then I have to roll for every item until 9 gold, or which costs less than 9 gold, so up to 8 gold actually, if it stays on the market or not. So on a 1 to 5 it goes away from the market, on a 6 to 10 it stays in the market. I do this every time the threat track moves on, just to simulate the market fluctuation when there are other players in the game. And because the threat track moved to an even number, we also placed 1 new market card on every market stack. So we've lost the Scrounged Shield, the Bow of Bone, and the Wolves of Greyhaven. There were some interesting new items. The Soul Biter, it's a magic weapon. Or here the Sapi Blades. They look interesting because if your hero defends this phase, he receives a +3 bonus to his combat roll. So I can decide to do my attacks with in a ranged phase. And then I can, I'm pretty good in defending here during the magic phase. So that could be interesting. But I'm not absolutely sure if I want to do that actually. I don't know right now. Okay, so now I want to move to this adventure marker here. Up there. And I roll again 3 dice, I guess. Or maybe I take the 4 dice I'm allowed to take because he is fatigue, but I can do that. So that's now. Let me see if this is good. So this guy is in a hill, And we have some hills here. And we need a river, yeah. And then we can take anyone for the city. So we can simply travel through the city on this river and then to the hills. And we can take our adventure step now. Okay, so let's see. That's dry land, but because there is already this this card here with that number 3. This event will not happen because it has to have a higher number than that card. So only one of the red events can now remove this card. And I draw another one. And that's said Marriott. Okay. When your hero is unsuccessful at an attack or defense roll, before damage is inflicted, you must discard an armor item. That item has no special effect. Well, that's bad. Oh, by the way, that was an error, actually. Because it's in yellow. I forgot that. This is a yellow item, so I have to draw from the yellow pile. That's good. This is Dukreen the Mad Knight. Well, he looks a bit like Gandalf, actually. If you have any map counters, this challenge's life is increased by 2. Well, that's bad. So he's got 5. That's a lot. If you escape from or are knocked out by this challenge, discard all map counters. So let's see. I might use the Lantern of Revealing if he's too strong. So 5 is a lot, actually. But 11 is pretty weak. 15 in melee, that's bad. 13 is okay, but I have... I'm not sure. I think I don't want to do that. It's pretty dangerous. No, I think I don't want to do that. So I use my Lantern of Revealing, and then I can place it underneath that lantern, and I draw another card. And that is a Shadow Dragon. Asif Shipsa's corruption has desecrated these once majestic dragons with an insatiable lust for blood. Your hero and allies inflict +1 wound on magic attacks. Okay. Your hero and inflict. Well, good. That's good for me. So I think I'm pretty good, and yeah. So he doesn't seem to be that bad. So first he attacks. He uses this. He's got a 2. For this ranged attack, so he needs a 9. And that's enough, that's a 10. An 11. So he did that. And the dragon takes 1 wound. And then we have this melee attack, and this is pretty bad. We might take a wound here. So we have to... Yeah, we have only 1, so we need a 12 here. That's definitely not enough. Okay, so I take 1 wound, and I take that wound. Because I now want to use my rune, Immolate, and that gives me now +1 magic. +1 wound for magic attacks and +4 for my value here. So I've got a combat value of 9 and I need a 5 to hit. And that's just enough. It's a 5. And normally I would do now 2 damage, but because of this special ability, or what, your hero and allies inflict +1 on magic attacks. Yeah, it's strange because it says also any phase. Normally it's just the magic phase. I'm not sure what that means. Well, I think we killed him now. We could do 3 damage, so I guess we can do now 3 damage and that shadow dragon is killed. So we gain 5 as a reward and another yellow experience marker, and that allows us now to level up. And now I'll take one of these magic markers and place it here. Well, actually the roll for the threat track was pretty close. I rolled a 17, that was just enough. And now I can actually go back. I can go here to Shellport and then travel to this big continent and try to do the remaining yellow adventures. And well, maybe then we can do sometime the red ones. So first of all, I'm wounded, and this guy has a fatigue token, so I can only use 4 of these dice, and I will only use 3, and then the fatigue token goes away. And well, let me see here. Basically, we only need a river, we have that, and then we simply can move with any Terran symbol to Shellport. Okay, so here we are now, and we draw a card, market card, and that is a ritual, form of the beer. Okay, you must spend the movement dice below before you may use this ritual. Activate this card to gain a +3 bonus to melee combat rolls and to inflict +3 wound in melee. Well, that's pretty good, but the problem is you can only attack in melee and can use no other item cards during this combat. So basically become a beer. But the problem is, yeah, I'm not good in melee, so I won't do that. But I will heal, so I pay 1 gold. And I will hire a captain. Question is now, which one will it be? Well, maybe this guy. If you end your refresh step on an anchor space, you may skip your movement step and discard this captain to move your hero to an adjacent swamp or forest space. Then proceed to your adventure step as normal. That's interesting. This guy looks strange, but... So he only costs me 2, so it might be a good idea to take him. You always have to keep in mind this fatigue value here. That is only a 2. This guy has a 3. So if we travel with him, after 2 travel turns, he starts taking wounds. But that should be enough. We only have to go here, so... Discard this captain to move your hero to an adjacent swamp or forest space. I see. Wow. I don't know. Anyway, so we pay 2 for this guy, Captain Grottil. Oh, yeah. And then we can start our voyage during the next turn. Ah, man, I'm always losing my dice today. I must admit I'm a little tired, so I might, yeah. Okay, so this is 14, that is good enough, so place that here. Okay, great. So I guess actually it's time to load this up now. Well, until now I'm pretty successful. I got some good items, and I'm leveling up. I can travel now to this continent, to this big island, and do some adventures there. So, well, the threat track is at 4. Actually, it looks all pretty good now. Yeah. So, I hope to see you in one of my next videos, and until then, bye.